I just realized that I haven't done this video or this topic of video in a year. We're talking assumptions, so I pulled up the good old Instagram sticker for questions and ask you, what are your assumptions about me? And you do it. You just speak what's on your mind, and that's why I love you so much. And the palette that I will be using in this video for the look, so I do answer your assumptions while I get ready, just casual, is going to be this massive palette. This is the MAC 40 Shades of Pride palette. By the way, if you didn't know that, this palette is probably for a lot of you very, very intimidating because first of all, it's big. Second of all, it's squishy. So the packaging is borderline weird, but 100% of the price of this palette, so it's $150 or euro or pounds. I think it's all time 150 no matter where I buy this. Correct me if I'm wrong, I just saw that it's $150 and 150 euro. 100% of the money goes to the charity behind Viva Glam, so you're doing something good with this palette. And honestly, this looks in real life so much better than it does on the pictures. Let's sneak inside before I start the assumptions. By the way, really, really heavy, and it comes of course with a plastic sheet here, and this time I am not throwing this away because otherwise I won't be able to memorize all the shades. So here you have a look inside. I mean, come on, it's actually very pretty. It doesn't look that like cheap or weird as it looked on the pictures. And I have honestly no clue how I am supposed to put this layout in my Excel spreadsheet. I could glue that sheet here on top of the mirror because I never used the mirrors on the palette. I have to think about that. I mean, you can handily bend it down, but there is something about this palette. I have no clue what I'm doing, so I might do something, I don't know. Like, for real, I have no clue. I went a bit to the side so I can pop up your assumption up here. I screenshotted them all from Instagram, so if you want to participate in a video like that, make sure you are subscribed to Instagram or following me on Instagram so you do not miss these videos or these topics where I need your input. So let's start with the first one. You don't take people's shit, and also you are super cool. I don't know if I would say about myself that I'm super cool, but I'm definitely quite chill, and I don't know, I probably just do not care a lot about other people's, I don't know, opinion is the wrong word, but when you hang out with me, technically I accept everything in the first place because I just do not care. It's not my life, it's your life. You have to do the decisions. So I'm quite chill and maybe quite cool, but I definitely do not take other people's shit. I quite quick can sense when someone is trying to gaslight me or to just try to be something or say something they do not really mean or they not really are. In general, I can be your very best friend and I can be super understanding as long as you don't lie to me. Don't try to fool me, and we're good, basically. You like animals more than people. Do we know each other in real life? That is 100% true. I always say that animals are the better people. I just love them so much more. By the way, it is impossible to work with this palette here. But yeah, you're right. I do like animals more than I like actually people. You're an extreme extrovert. I, for the sake of my life, cannot stress enough on how wrong this is. I am actually not an extrovert at all. I'm not an introvert either, but I'm not an extrovert. In general, I say about myself that I'm quite confident I know what I know. I know what I can. I know that it comes off a lot of times as arrogant, but I'm not. I just do not sell myself below my own self-worth. But when I am in a new surrounding, new people, maybe a new situation at work, new friends at work, just something where I have to interact with people that do not know me, I am more the quiet part of the conversation. But not because I'm an introvert or because I'm shy or anything. It is mainly because I want to check out these people first. I want to analyze their behavior. I want to see what they do. I want to see how they react to certain things, how their mindsets are, how they react to different opinions and stuff. And then I decide how I personally behave. So personally, I would say I'm more so I don't know, like a social watcher, behavior watcher, before I show my personality. And when it comes to my work environment, for example, I have two different personalities. There is the work me that the people at work know, and then there's the private me. I do not mix them up. There are some people at work who I am so close with now in the private life too that they know my real me. But I like to have a line between these two personalities. By the way, when did this happen? When did this turn so dark and grungy? This was not what I wanted to do. So yeah, definitely not an extrovert, but I'm also not an introvert too. Your husband still doesn't know what you do. I love that with every Q&A, assumptions, whatever interaction video I do, someone is coming up with this. My husband knows what I do, but he doesn't know what the name is. Yes, and he's still in this, I don't know, like more so successful environment that I am in. He still doesn't know. Not to say that I'm like super successful now, I'm the best of the best, just meaning in my personal context, I think I'm quite successful for doing this only for a year. But he still doesn't know the name, he still hasn't seen any videos, pictures whatsoever. But I think 2 weeks ago or so, a workmate came to me and said like, I have found a profile. It's called Ella. Is that fucking you? And I was like, how did this happen? And yeah, it was shown to her via Instagram. It happens when you are public. I don't even know if I would want to know all the people in my personal context who I have personal contact with when they follow me. If I want to know that. Did that sentence make sense? I don't know. I think I wouldn't, because I feel like when I just know that my neighbor is watching this, I probably couldn't talk so freely anymore. Does that make any sense? Can I please just insert here my initial thoughts about this MAC Pride palette, that I am surprised by the quality. I have had MAC shadows before. I have had their new embodied? No, what was the color cases? The 6 pans, and then there was a 12 pan. I have their Nobody's Business from last year, and these were all shit. But this one? That is a vibe. I like that. The matte quality is outstandingly good. And these shimmers are so much better than they are, for example, in these Nobody's Business. They are impactful. They're not duochromes. Please do not mix that up. But they are like very intense, vivid metallics, true metallics. That black one I have here on the outer parts has a bit of like glitter going on. Like flecks of glitter reflecting when the light is hitting. Very beautiful, actually. And they apply so much better. But yeah, most of the shades are labeled like shade name and then 2.0. They kind of revamped a couple of their formulations. And I don't know why, but I had this feeling that this light mint color is given a nice contrast to the rest of the look. And I was fucking right. You are an only child. I know that you probably didn't mean this in a bad way, but I feel like whenever someone is assuming that someone else is an only child, I get like a bad vibe. I don't know why. I feel like people look down on only childs, like they're super selfish and they got everything when they were younger. That's not the case, by the way, for everyone. And yes, I am an only child, kind of. My dad has two sons, but I never really got to know them because it's from his like first marriage before he got to know my mom. So I definitely grew up as an only child. So this one has a couple assumptions. So let's start with the first one. You like driving. Sometimes. Okay. If there was somewhere where I had to drive, I would much rather drive myself than be on the like passenger seat. I cannot drive with you in a car, be in the passenger seat. No way. I will not do this. Either I drive or we will not go anywhere. You're a DIYer. No. Absolutely not. My husband is. He does things by itself. He is like much more creative than I am with this. He is, I don't know, like thinking, what can we do with this and that and whatnot. And my mom is the same. She has so many ideas on how to DIY shit for outside the house. And I'm just sitting here, I would buy that. Like, why should I make the work and do it myself if I can buy it finished? No, 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 no. I'm definitely not a DIY girl. You love hosting dinner parties 100%. That one is totally me. You don't read for enjoyment. Ooh, that one I don't understand. Why do you think I don't read for enjoyment? I do read for enjoyment. I just do not have the time to. I very recently got back into reading and I do have a, well, according to some comments, hilarious review of Haunting and Hunting Adeline up. It's not up on YouTube, it's only on TikTok and Instagram because each video is like more than 5 minutes long. I am currently reading The Ritual, but I don't know what it is. I don't get along with the topic of this book. It is so out of context. Maybe I misunderstood it, but it's basically about the Lords, a secret organization at a college, and they murder people. They're like hitmans or something. I don't know. And then, of course, that virgin girl and blah, 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 blah. And then she gets chosen by one of the Lords, Riyad, whatever his name is. And he just, like, out of context, they are at a ritual where she has to deep throat him in the front of everybody. And then he just very ruthless fucks her outside of a church until she's, like, completely wasted. I'm like, the people who read the Ritual, please tell me, does it get better? Should I keep on reading, because so far I don't see the sense. Before that, by the way, I read Does It Hurt, also from H.D. Carlton, who did the Adeline series. That was okay. It was basically, I don't know, 45 chapters fighting and fucking. So good night story. When I was younger, I read so much more. I was like fully into books and stuff, but I just don't have the time for it anymore, which is a bummer. I really wish I had more. I try to force myself to read more, but you know just how it is sometimes. When you work, when you have a just busy day, then it's just not possible sometimes. Have I ever told you that I wrote a book myself? There is a book. It has not been published yet, but it has around, I don't know, 300 or 400 regular book pages. Initially it was meant to be a thriller, but I think with today's standards, so I wrote that book 2 years ago. It is a dark romance book. It does kind of get into that vibe. I'm currently just rewriting everything because I still want to publish the book at some point. So the book is about Mara. She's a 25-year-old student of, I don't know what the English word for that study is, but criminology or like criminal psychology, something like that, forensic psychology, that kind of. She's studying this for a master's degree and she gets to know a psychiatrist. He's in his mid 40s. He just very recently came to the city she lives in, and well, what a coincidence. His like office and flat is like very much next to her apartment. They get to know each other while a incident outside of his new office, and well, they kind of fall in love. So we're following a bit that love story in the book, while at the meantime, Mara is doing like internship at the local like police station, the like big, not like CSI big, but it's a bigger police station, and there is a series of murders next to that city. And during that internship, Mara is introduced into that series. She helps there, and she and now her new boyfriend, his name is Damien, he is like helping a bit with his knowledge about, forensic psychology and how like serial killers are thinking. And there are a couple plots, like three or four quite weird plots. And honestly, at the end, it is not how everything seems to be. It's not how everything looks like. It's a lot about the question, what's moral, what's right, what's wrong, what is your nature? Do you follow that nature? How do you decide, like, pro loved ones, but maybe against rules? Or are you always pro moral and laws or against your loves? It's a lot that's happening. And in my process of rewriting that book, I am adding new characters, I am adding new backstories to the main characters to just give them a little bit more depth. You're not vegan slash vegetarian. Well, that's not a surprise, I guess, because I have been talking about doing barbecues and shit all the time, but no, I am not. I love certain vegetarian and vegan meals. I think there are beautiful, beautiful recipes out there that do not need meat actually, but I myself, I don't want to be a vegetarian or a vegan. At the end, live and let live. You can eat whatever the fuck you want, and I eat whatever the fuck I want. As long as it's legal. You hate being outside. It depends. Outside in my garden, like sitting outside and doing a barbecue, that I love. But if you ask me, hey, let's go hiking, let's go, I don't know, climb a mountain, I would very, very respectfully say no, fuck you. I also never ever would go camping. I kind of want to go to a festival somewhat in the next 2 years, but not with camping. No, thank you. I need to have a hotel. That look is actually not really bad. It's very much. I kind of just let the creativity flow. Do I like it? Kinda. Maybe that yellow was not the thing, but now it's too late. You don't drink coffee. Yes, I hate coffee. I do drink, I don't know, like espresso, funny enough. And I do think like mixed things like cappuccino, latte macchiato, but I don't drink like plain coffee. My husband, 3 or 4 a day, he's like addicted, but I don't like the taste. If I had to drink coffee, it would be like give me a pot of sugar and then pour in one splash of coffee. I had a goth or emo phase in high school. What phase? Like, mom, it was never a phase. I want to be a scene girl so bad, a MySpace scene girl. For the people who are old enough to remember this, that was what I wanted to be, but I never was. But honestly, I am kind of yeah, reconnecting to that goth phase. Again, it was not a phase, to my goth young me, and I'm getting back into it, and I absolutely do not regret that. You don't like beach vacations. I never was on one. I have never in my life been on a beach vacation. In my childhood, the vacations with my parents were always somewhat in Sweden, Norway, or Russia, because, you know, my mom is Russian. My parents did a beach vacation years ago. They went to Greece, and it was good, they said, but they prefer being somewhere else. So currently, for example, they are very, very high up in Scandinavia. I just personally hate warm weather. I hate when it's so hot. I hate sweating. I don't want to have that. I know people are waiting like, oh yeah, we need to have 25 or 30 degrees Celsius outside. And I'm just like, no, that's horrible. Who wants to have this? Not me, not me. 20 degrees, maybe 22 degrees, that is fine. In that temperature, I can sit outside, we can have barbecue, we can sit on the like afternoons and drink something there. We can just sit with friends outside. That is fine. But everything too hot? No. No, thank you. And I am also someone, if in my bedroom were like minus 10 degrees Celsius, I would sleep the best. The colder, the better. So, although I never was on a beach vacation, I myself assume about myself that I will not like it. You have a very weird music taste. I wouldn't say that. My music taste is very all over the place, I would say. Currently, I am loving metalcore, deathcore. Like, not currently, that has always been a vibe. So we're talking like Bad Omens, they're quite soft metalcore in my opinion. Then of course Lorna Shore, Will Ramos is like a genius. Let me just look through my current playlist, what else I have here. Distant, To the Grave, Sleep Token, kind of very recently, but not all of it. Of course, Bring Me the Horizon. Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke is... I wish I could meet him once. But I also have other stuff like Snow the Product, for example. She's a bilingual rapper in English and Spanish. It's absolutely amazing. Ren, of course, like Ren is it, absolutely. But I also have things like Banshee or Zend or Chinchilla, what else? Nightwish, like Cold Classics. Palais Royale, I have one here. I'm a big fan of Sophia Ezella. If you do not know her, she's a... Is she UK? I think she's an UK indie artist. Poppy, of course. Asking Alexandria. I don't think my taste is weird. It's just very, very mixed. And I basically listen to what I like at that moment. And currently I'm very much into deathcore and metalcore. Like more than usual. There is with Apple Music, you have this playlist that is like your playlist. And Apple Music is showing you stuff that you have been already in your like, that you have heard, that you've listened to. Oh my God, I'm much over the place today, I'm sorry. But that playlist also shows you stuff that is matching to the things that you have already listened to and is suggesting you new artists, which I fucking love, because every now and then, when I listen to this, mainly at work actually, I put this on and then when there is a certain song where I have to stop working and be like, what the fuck is this? That one goes to the playlist because then it totally got me.
Show me what it's like to finally know the face rise, the silhouette, and this was I made to be infinite. The infinite space, I finally see a world without you as it not for me.
have a fine collection of black leather and or latex fuck me boots. Do I really give off this vibe? If so, yes, please. But no, I actually don't. I collect Converse. Converse is the only shoe that I'm actually wearing. And if you don't know that, you can design your own Converse on their website. It takes like 3 to 4 weeks to arrive, but I don't care. I have ones with little, I don't know, like plain colors. I have designs, and my favorite ones are all glitter. That whole shoe is golden glitter. Absolutely amazing. And I just collect them. I don't know, like once or twice a year order new Converse, and with the last order I had to buy an extra shoe shelf to put away my Converse. I even have Christmas Converse. They have like an ugly sweater design. I love them and I wear them all year round. But I would love actually to explore other shoe styles like boots. You know me and my whole gothic vibe very recently. I'd love to have these chunky big boots, but I don't know if it really matches my clothing style. You grew up in a big city. No, totally not. The city that I grew up in has, I think, 30,000 residents, so not a big city at all. You hate your job. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I don't hate my job. I know it sounds weird, but I like what I'm doing. I like my new position, especially that new position. I like that responsibility level that I have. I like that I am asked by people for advice. I love that, actually. But to be fair, it is not what I will probably do my whole life. And if I have a like chance to make this here work out and get a certain amount of money out of this to comfortably keep on living, that would be amazing. You're a picky eater. Maybe a bit. Maybe. A picky eater to me, someone is that no matter what you are doing, they will always find something to like criticize or to not eat. For me, this has changed a lot throughout the years, and certain things that I used to hate when I was younger, I now love, like zucchinis, aubergines, for example, Brussels sprouts. Horror when I was younger, but now I like them. I wouldn't say I'm that much of a picky eater. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, but I'm also constantly retrying stuff that I used to hate, because your taste develops all life long, and maybe even something that you loved years ago, you now all of a sudden don't like anymore. You have zero time for talented people who squander their talent. I have to think about actually moments where did this ever happen to me, that there was a person very talented who basically just wasted that talent? Let's exchange talent with chances, with I don't know, like life chances, is that right? So for example, I do have a friend. That friend has amazing skills. That friend is very talented, okay, we can say it like that, when it comes to writing, to having ideas of things, doing good for the world, a big knowledge. And that friend is wasting all of that in a job that that friend hates, and where the workmates also don't respect that friend. And I don't understand why that friend isn't quitting. I'm fed up to hear. I can't hear those stories anymore, because I don't know how many times I suggested to quit. And it's not that this friend is not able to get another job. It's not that they're like, I don't know, like have a lifetime contract with that company or something like that. It's laziness. It is pure laziness and being afraid of, I don't know, afraid of succeeding, maybe also afraid of maybe failing a new chance. But at this point, I actually don't care anymore. All I can do is constantly say, quit that fucking job. But when they do not listen, not my problem. But then please don't ask me for advice anymore. You were the popular kid in school. No. Actually, it's the complete different side. I was the unpopular kid. I was the bullied one. I was bullied so bad in my youth. Even if now someone would invite me to like a meetup, you know, those like 10 years later, 15 years later and shit, I wouldn't go. I don't want to see any of these little pricks ever again. You live in Germany, but you are not German. Depends on how you want to define this. So I was born and raised in Germany, but I have Russian roots, and parts of my family are basically all over the world. But I was raised and born in Germany. And last but not least, I assumed you are for the ladies. And I had to ask that person, like, do you mean you thought I'm lesbian? And she was like, yes, I'm not, but I identify as pansexual. I do not have a preference when it comes to genders. I don't care, because I can like or fall in love or be attracted to a person without looking at the gender. It was just a pure coincidence that I ended up marrying a man. Could have been somebody else too. But I'm actually curious now, what exactly is it that I'm doing that makes you think that I'm lesbian? Not that there is something that people do that, I don't know, like are lesbian actions. I don't know how to describe this, but I'm just curious. Oh no, I totally wanted to include the new Make a Mark liners from Made by Mitchell, but I totally forgot it. Can I just... no, it's too much. That's the shade Fire Truck, by the way. It's a glitter red. We're done now. These were your assumptions. I'm sorry if I sounded a bit off today. I feel like I was not in the usual mood, but I'm just so tired lately. And I also feel a bit sick. Like my throat is a bit sore. I feel like there's my nose a bit stuffy. So fingers crossed that when you see the video, I'm not laying down with a cold. I don't want to have a cold. So, are there any other assumptions that you might have had that you didn't want to say, but now you feel confident enough to share them? Please share them with me. I love to see them. I love to see your assumptions. Make sure you subscribe because I do fun videos every week. Currently, I try to maintain the 5 videos a week scheduled. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes 3, but most of the time it's 5. Subscribe, comment, like, engagement shit. And if you don't know what to comment, comment pride. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.